you out to the Valley of the Sun as we welcome in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And hello again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden here in the booth. And, Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and even the defensive backs. But the big guys, I can't wait to see which one tilts the balance for their team.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Russell Wilson leading them out there, 6-year quarterback who finished his college ball, of course, as a Wisconsin Badger.
One of the more cerebral quarterbacks in the NFL, analyzes situations, watches a ton of tape, adapts his game to whatever is presented in front of him. And despite the fact he's been in the league for 6 years, the future still bright for Russell Wilson.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. Oh, he sheds himself free. The 40, the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 76 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their veteran quarterback, the former USC Trojan, Carson Palmer.
He'll turn 38 in December, and there was some discussion in the offseason about him possibly contemplating retirement. Elected to come back, though. His big right arm, exactly what they want in Arizona. They love to play the downfield game, throwing it to their big-time receivers.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through.
Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Palmer gives to Johnson. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Encroachment. Defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And Palmer gives to Johnson. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Holding. Offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw it with Palmer. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Mike Bennett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right? Well, the pressure gets to him again. Cliff Averill. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Buying time to his left. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's second down. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. Forced out to his left. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
On first down, Wilson drops it underneath for Rawls. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, Hey, we got everybody. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run for the first time with Lacey. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And able to find Graham, complete. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And down inside the 15 he goes. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he goes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Rawls. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. On the ground, Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Thomas Rawls who finishes it off with a touchdown run. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet. And try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw is Palmer. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. The first down carry here for Johnson. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Again, it's Johnson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Wilson being chased out left. And his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson dancing to his left. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson going to Rawls on the dump off. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Wilson to throw, and he slings one that's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
Yeah, I think you're right, partner. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Here's Palmer. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The two old workhorses, Palmer and Fitzgerald, connecting there for a Cardinal first. Now Palmer. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Again, it's Palmer. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Palmer now. It's caught. Nelson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw again, it's Palmer. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he simply... The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus on the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They begin the drive with Johnson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On second down, here's Palmer. Shreds the tackle. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. The Cardinals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of of the gun, Palmer. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And now this one's intercepted. A third interception for Palmer. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's roll the highlights. Now 1st and 10, Rawls is going to break into the secondary, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Seahawks take it early in the second. Rawls is going to stay up the middle, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Now early in the second quarter, as they move out in front, 14-0. Carson Palmer hooking up with the speedster, John Brown. And he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 48-yard line. Cardinals on offense midway through the second. Palmer's under pressure and throws the pick. Seahawks will end up returning it for a TD. The lead grows to 21. And with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report and head back out down to University of Pheonix Stadium for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Throwing is Palmer over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Now, this is a feeling I can relate to all too well. Deflation on 3rd and short. Excellent coverage. Took away all the short routes, but the one person who wasn't accounted for, the quarterback. And he used his legs to hot-foot it for a first down.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, Lacey. Oh, strong running by Lacey, and he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They stay on the ground on 1st down with Lacey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Lacey gets the handoff from Wilson. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play clock winding down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacey. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He finds his running back, Rawls. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll dump it off to Procise. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Rawls. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson buying time to his left. He finds his man, Baldwin, and he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson taking it in. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind him.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and the 28-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy to come off the field, not really move the ball.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Atama Rubin in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Palmer to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Palmer on third and long. Underneath for Johnson. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That's to his running back, complete. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired, and hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. They go again with Rawls. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Time running out here on the play clock. On third down, Procise. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And the play clock's running down. First down, this is Rawls. Open space inside the 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at Carson Palmer now as we focus in on our players' spotlight. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Michael Bannon in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Palmer to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fitzgerald. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Time for a break. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and 2. Now Palmer. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here we go. It's Palmer on 4th down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Holding offense.
So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season. to carry the ball at this rate.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On second down, Palmer. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Palmer now to throw on third down. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long and sign.